My name is Marshall. This is the Experience More Tour, and we are here today with Darn Tough and Owen and Liz, which promises to be an exciting conversation about something that we put on our feet almost every day, socks, and specifically Darn Tough and Wide Open socks. And we're going to be exploring both of these brands today and how they're related and how they're different and all pretty cool stuff around that. It's pretty neat to launch a new brand, and Wide Open is one of those. So we're going to explore that as well. So as we like to do, invite in absolute experts. And Liz and Owen are the experts when it comes to socks and sort of looking at the whole line, as they're both product managers, which means they have a holistic approach to looking at the Darn Tough sock line. Welcome, Liz and Owen. As always, great to see y'all.
Awesome to be back.
It's amazing to be back.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Owen. Before we get started, I'm going to have you introduce yourselves, maybe where you're calling in from, what your job is, and also maybe why work in socks. What excites you about socks and footwear? So, Liz, let's start with you. Tell us what you do with Darn Tough.
Sure, happy to. I'm gonna be celebrating my fourth year here in October. I am the product line specialist, so I help our product line manager, this guy Owen, do everything that Marshall mentioned. Look at the line, see what we're missing, see what we're like over skewed in, trim accordingly. I also do a ton of other little stuff, some of which I'll actually touch in our presentation here today. I like to joke that it's a lot of Excel and then a little bit of everything else in my role. So. Yeah,
Yeah,
calling from Waterbury live today, one of our sites.
nice. So you are on site, which is great. And so why work in socks? What brings you to the sock world, and what makes you really excited about footwear and socks?
Yeah, I got excited about socks through actually the through hiking community. I wanted to be a section hiker. I started as a customer service seasonal here at this exact location, and then just fell in love with the product and the fact that literally right beneath me they are turning out socks right now. There's not many places you can work where you get to see it happen from start to finish.
Yeah, the hum of the factory floor is an exciting thing, right? And to be able to be that close to it, that's a unique position. It's hard to find that in the U.S. in the outdoor industry, where the manufacturing is happening right where the design and the management is going on. You're pretty lucky. That sounds great. And we'll explore some of that, I think, as we go through this call. Well, Liz, thank you for the intro, and excited to hear your perspective on some of the socks that we're going to be talking about today. Um, and Owen, same questions to you. What is that you do at Darn Tough, and what brought you into this world?
Absolutely. So I'm Owen Rock Campbell. I'm the product line manager for Cabot Hosiery Mills, which is the parent company that owns or oversees both Darn Tough, who most folks on this call or everyone knows about, and Wide Open, our brand new brand that we'll talk about a little later. So Liz and I, our jobs, of course, as Liz kind of told you about, are to make sure we're launching the right things at the right time for you and your customers. I also started in customer service here, and my true love is product from the get-go. Why I applied for a job here is because I nerd out on the tech aspects and the fit, and I'm very picky, I guess, when it comes to what gear and clothing I put on my body. And not it's a Vermont brand, and I grew up here in Vermont, but it's the best possible product out there. And through my main hobbies, which are hiking, backpacking, and running, it was the only socks I would wear even before I came to work here 8.5 years ago.
Yeah, and you have extensive experience on the trail, being
Absolutely.
an
Yeah.
experienced through hiker. And so, yeah, you're going to share some of that information about how through hikers are utilizing Darn Tough socks as we get into
Absolutely.
this, which I'm excited to hear about. Well, Owen, what's on your mind today for Darn Tough that you'd like to share with this community?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had humble beginnings back in 2004 is when the Darn Tough brand was launched here at Cabot Hosiery Mills as a Hail Mary. So Cabot Hosiery you probably haven't heard of that name because they were knitting private label socks for some big name other companies here. And then when all those companies started to source their socks overseas, our founder, Rick Cabot, said, we need to prove that you don't outsource for quality, and we're going to double down on Vermont manufacturing. And he started the Darn Tough brand, and he did the unthinkable. Those first Darn Tough socks, he said, these are so durable and so comfortable and fit so well that I'm going to do the unthinkable. And it came with the first, those socks came with the first ever lifetime warranty, unconditional lifetime warranty in the sock industry. So that's a promise, the first promise of its kind, really. It's a promise to the customer about why you do things here and why you make and buy American, as well as a challenge to us. Because if you wear out our socks, it is going to be our bottom line, because we will replace them free of charge if you're not satisfied with comfort, durability, or fit, no matter when you bought them. Now, 2024 marked 20 years for the Darn Tough brand. And with that anniversary this last fall, we launched our first ever brand campaign that kind of shows you how we doubled down on the warranty. The brand campaign is pretty simple. Darn it. Simple, to the point, but fun. And you'll see soon, we don't take ourselves too seriously here. And we have a video that'll kind of show you.
At Darn Tough, we get it. Life's tough.
Darn it. Darn it.
Oh.
We know life's tough. That's why every pair of socks comes with a lifetime guarantee. Yep, we cover that. And that. And even that. Darn Tough. Unconditionally guaranteed for life.
That is awesome. I love all those scenarios. I understand those are actual scenarios, right?
Absolutely. So everything you saw in that video is a dramatic reenactment of actual warranty stories that we've been asked to cover in the past. And yeah, we do cover that. There are some things that folks might say, well, isn't that user error? If you feel like you want to warranty it, we'll cover it for you. If one of your socks is lost because in this case, in the video, a falcon took it, but it was an eagle in the actual story that we got the letter on, we will send you a credit to you for half a pair of socks if you lose one of them. And so we doubled down, and the darn it story is essentially life is tough. And the idea behind it is how socks and our warranty can take those darn it, oh crap, how the heck did I get here moments and make them just a little more tolerable. So what you see here on the screen is just a sampling of the hundreds of testimonials we get from folks all the time, whether they're just writing in to thank us or sending it back with that pair of socks they're looking to replace. And this is just a reminder that our warranty is real. Whether it's Heidi B on the left there, who put a pair of socks on her mule on a mule packing trip to get it 26 miles out of the wilderness to safety when it lost, when it lost a shoe, or it's, walking 6 miles out of a canyon like Delphina G did, and they're in the middle. Shoes weren't working out, so they just wore socks, and the socks were, after washing, as good as new. So we're just leaning into these stories, and there's real engagement on our website, darntough.com, on social media, some really, really cool stuff that we loved seeing. So on the next slide, yes, our warranty is real, as I've said already, and I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but some of you on the call, you as a dealer, help out some of our customers with on-the-spot replacements when they bring them in, and whether you're able to do that as a shop, or maybe that customer needs something very specific that you don't have in stock or don't carry, we're always happy to do it at darntough.com. It's a very simple process that is outlined here, or again, not going to get into too much detail today, but on darntough.com, very, very simple. And the main thing is we want them back, because looking at your warranty socks, it's not just a marketing gimmick. This is how we make our socks better. So in the product development team, we can give dozens, hundreds of examples of specific feedback we've gotten that we've made actionable very quickly because we own the entire process, from yarn to shipping. And that's how you guarantee a sock for life, is that passion, that attention to detail, and that drive to always do better.
And I'll
So
reiterate that I was a little shy to send some of mine back because, as you know, we earn socks here at Experience More Tour. But after your encouragement, I did go through this process. It was shockingly easy. The online form is easy. It was very, very fast. You could just add multiple socks into it at one time. So I will just shout out that this was extremely easy to do. So well done on making that all happen. So I'm looking forward
yeah,
to the replacement
and
socks
it's
coming.
really cool to be a part of it and see those stories and see how we can always make them better. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a promise to you and it's a challenge to us to always be innovating, thinking about improvements. Liz will touch on a couple of those later. Part of that came from an entire new brand, and some of it is micro tweaks in the physical products that have been around for years to make them even better.
Right, and I just
So
reiterate, Gore-Tex has a guarantee to keep you dry. It's right there on our logo, and it's a similar kind of idea here. Is that we guarantee our products for the core benefits. For our case, it's durably waterproof, windproof, and breathable, and that drives a lot of the innovation and the testing and the new product development that we do. Is that we have to live up to that promise. You as well. You're not going to make a shoddy sock because you can't. You're going to lose your skin if you do. So this is really cool and neat to see that you really support this and you're just doubling down on it with the new Darn It campaign. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it is cool. So what Ben just transitioned to here is something that's near and dear to my heart. As a thru hiker myself, while working for the brand, I've taken 2 leaves of absence to hike the Appalachian Trail and then the Continental Divide Trail, 2 out of the 3 of the Triple Crown. And I've tested new socks on both trails. And anyone who has done any backpacking knows that things never go quite as planned. Maybe that's your darn it moment on trail. I've had quite a few of those. You know, it's that type 2, maybe it's type 3 fun that in the moment things are not as fun as you had hoped for. And again, those darn it moments in trail, I've a couple crazy myself, and we were thrilled to just got back the 2024 through hiker survey from the Appalachian Trail that the Trek conducted. And we have seen year over year that more and more through hikers are trusting Darn Tough as their sock. So now we are well over 80%. 81% of through hikers responded saying that they're wearing or transition to Darn Toughs on the trail. We've seen that creep up year over year. I consider this, having done these trails myself, and our warranty team considers this the gold standard for what through hikers put their socks through. You go through 5 or 6 pairs of shoes like I did on the AT, but only 2 pairs of socks that I'm still wearing today. That's the true testament of durability and fit over many, many tough miles. On this same survey, several footwear brands were also, what kind of shoes are these hikers wearing? No footwear brand exceeded 30% share. So while there are many great choices for footwear out there, there's clearly only one sock brand, which I'm, again, thrilled to say. And as for that other 19, darn it, right? We're gonna get them. We're gonna get there someday here, right? But those are tried and true. We're paying attention to this and making them better every year.
This is awesome, and it's really neat to see this momentum, right? And this does help to sell these socks, knowing that these can be relied on for the really harsh conditions that you would see on any of these through hikes. And through hikers are absolutely glomming on to Darn Tough as a brand. And I was looking at the comments here around Darn Tough over Smartwool all day. I love it. So this is great to see, and I would love to see this just growing year over year.
Thanks. Yeah.
And you're not just making great product, you're not just warranting it. There's also these great there's also these great programs that you're doing at Darn Tough to give back to the community where you're situated. And Liz, can you explain a little bit about this Knit to Give program, and this is really cool. And this is everybody can participate in this.
Yeah, this is so awesome. Thanks for teeing me up here, Marshall. This is one of part of my job is to run our employee design contest, and that feeds into this Did to Give program, as well as some other things I'm talking about here in a second. But yeah, we get so much love. Thank you, Lauren. That we like to try and give back as much as we can, right? Owen talked about through hiking, and you can see the 3 trail badges there on the bottom, right on your screen. So the Knit to Give program, what does it all mean? 5% of the sales from each sock in this program go to either the local food bank for employee designs, like I help facilitate. Each of those trail socks go 5% back to their trails to help keep through hikers on trail. And then I have one more to talk about. On the next slide here, we've got one from Myrna Valero, which is super exciting. It's the Myrnavated, and we've shown it before in this session, but we just wanted to highlight it again because Myrna's amazing. That's her in the middle, Myrna Valerio. If you haven't heard of her or seen her, go look her up. She has a great book. And 5% of this sock goes to her organization, Come Alive Outside. It focuses on connecting community with their local outdoor opportunities across the board at every age. Just super awesome. We'll show it again here later in like on screen in person for some more sock tech. But yeah, on that note, let's just look at it real quick. Some sock tech
Yeah, let's
for
get
y'all
into
on
it,
a
Liz.
sock on
This
screen
is
here. Yeah.
something our community absolutely loves and wants to see from you, which is this kind of call out to the tech, right? So Owen referred to learnings along the way, right? When we get the socks back, it's
Yeah.
pretty great. And I'd love for you to sort of reinforce some of the learnings that you've seen and some of the adjustments that happened in the socks that we're able to sell.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that's occurred since I've been in my position is if you look on screen here and you see that thing that says stronger wear, that is indicating, and I'll show you again on screen here, a little zoom up close thing, of where we've extended our durability section. And that all came from things like warranty, things like direct feedback from our athletes. We iterate to create the best in use specific sock. And that's a really clear way that we've done that over the years. Those cushion shapes and even the reinforcement shapes have changed over the years. And I'll show you, like I said, a little bit later. The second thing that I want to arm y'all with that you can easily talk to a customer about is the breathable mesh on our run socks. You also see it in a couple other of our categories, but it's super easy and like very pertinent to runners. The breathable mesh section is right there on top of the foot. If you look at the toe and then just above it, that breathable mesh is exactly what it sounds like. It creates little channels inside the sock to help merino do what it's already doing naturally and just kick it up a notch. It's why we say merino is so good in warm climates. This is just a way you can start that conversation with a customer, right? Like there's physical tech that's also helping boost that because you really want to create that ventilation where your body heat is like transferring your sweat into vapor. I think that's how it helps you get the best out of your gear, right, Marshall? Creating that kind of system.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And the merino wool is what we at Gore test all of our products on, knowing that it's going to work really, really well. We're a huge fan of using the appropriate merino wool socks inside GORE-TEX footwear for optimized breathability, right? We build a membrane into the shoe. In this case, it's the Cascadia from Brooks that you're seeing in the photo here. And this is invisible fit technology, which on its own is quite breathable, right? It really is going to allow for moisture vapor to escape. But the next foot layer, which is the sock, I would say is probably the most important as far as it goes, is comfort on our feet. You know, we have 100,000 sweat glands on each foot. Those sweat glands are going to excrete moisture in the form of sweat, with the concept being that there's going to be a moisture vapor change, right? There's going to be a phase change that goes from sweat to moisture vapor. And that actually, from a chemistry standpoint, removes energy from the system, which allows our feet to stay cool. So we need it to escape. So the wool is going to soak up the moisture. It's going to then transport it and then get it up to the top of the foot and then allow that moisture vapor to escape through the shoe, through the membrane, and also through the smokestack, right? Which is why you have to engineer in these wicking zones and the ability for that to move. And I've really not seen anything better than Darn Tough out there that's able to move the moisture around and keep your foot feeling dry, right? You don't want that slickness between your toes. These are the socks to do it. So it works really well with GORE-TEX footwear. So Liz, dive in a little bit with the tech. Can you show us, do you want to show us a sock now, or do you want to talk about wide open first here?
let's chat right open real quick, and then I'll
Okay,
show both on screen for folks. And I did
that'll
see
be
your
fun.
question there, Mira. We'll get to that in a sec on how to wash socks here at the end. But cool to start wide open here. Awesome.
Yeah, let's go.
So wide open. I'm so excited to share this with y'all. We had some questions last year about our Cabot Hosiery Mills new brand Wide Open, and we're hoping to arm y'all with some knowledge on that today. Why did we make a new brand, right? Well, the goal was simple. We wanted a sock for every body, every size, every shape. We believe that everyone deserves a sock that delivers style, durability, and stretch. We wanted to make the best everyday sock for wide legs and wide feet. So what's the tech? Let's start talking tech. We have a couple things that make it great. We have a wide flex stretch. That means we're getting 18.5 inches stretch in the leg, 18 inches in the ankle section, and also 18 in the foot. That's up to a 4E shoe width. Two other things to note, we've got a just right cuff. It's easy on, easy off, and everything in between stays where you want it, doesn't slouch, but also doesn't strangle you out, right? You can take it off at the end of the day. There's no big indents, which I love. And then the last one to shout out is the one you should never notice. There's no seams in the toe, no blisters, just plenty of wiggle room. So let's talk about how we want to talk about Wide Open, and here I'll actually start showing stuff to y'all on foot forms and in person. We want to talk comfort, stretch, and fit, right? Comfort is ties into that merino wool story, right? They're soft, they're thermoregulating. If you got sweaty feet, these are going to help with that. Um, they're comfy. I think it's kind of like walking on air, and if you feel the hand feel between this and a Darn Tough, it's just different. It's awesome. Second is stretch, right? You're getting a ton of stretch in these, and they stay put, like I said, without choking you out, which is awesome. If you have customers that's looking for more of a traditional tube sock fit, but want a higher quality material, a better fitting sock, this is the guy. And lastly, that's the last thing to talk about with a customer, right? Is fit. They're easy on, they're easy off. If you have anybody that has mobility issues or prefer that different fit, this is the one. So yeah, let's just go and talk some more tech here. We have that cuff. Just gonna get close for y'all so you can see that.
Mhm.
We come in lots of different patterns and styles. I've got another one to show you here. So if you have a customer that prefers like a rib, we've also got that rib knit. And then our cushioning, right, is going to be in that square shape along the back of the heel, underfoot, and like cushioning in the toes. I'm going to bounce back to Darn Tough real quick, just to show you a little bit of the differences, right? Now, this is a specialty like run sock, right? Can this fit a regular fit as well? Absolutely can. It works great for me, and it works great for folks at home. My mom loves them. They really just have a ton of give, right? So that's the big difference. It's designed to fit a very wide foot, but the retention is awesome, right? So it'll snap right back. If you have somebody that wants, like I said, that tube fit and are like a regular size shoe, they should be fine. Quick touch on here. Just want to show you where that venting is. It's going to be right on top of the foot, right? Here's that extended durability zone. That shape is what I'm talking about when I say that from feedback from runners, from warranty, that's the kind of shape that has changed over the years, right? We have more here to prevent blisters, more up the back to prevent blisters. Yeah. So a couple questions in the chat. Thank you about asking for washing the socks. I think Owen's got you. But yeah, just a quick overview, right? You want to turn them inside out if you can. And the reason for that is you're cleaning, especially if you got a cushioned sock, you're cleaning out all those little terry loops, right? And then you want to do it you want to think cold, right? You don't want to cook your socks. So wash on cold, and if you dry, tumble dry on low. If you can let them air dry, that's what we recommend, but we know everybody's busy. If you got to throw them in with everything else, just do it on low. And yeah, like Owen said, that resource he linked is a excellent resource for other questions there. What's the story behind not washing? Great question. So we have had and please clarify if I am getting that, if I'm misunderstanding your question. One of the qualities of merino wool is it's antimicrobial, basically, right? So it's helping you stink less and stay fresher longer. So you can wear our socks more than once, and it's one of the like it's great to know. Yeah, you can wear, that's what we recommend you do, is like wear them more than once if you can, if you feel comfortable doing that, because they're gonna treat you just fine. It helps the environment, helps you, less trips to the laundromat, right? Um, uh,
Last year when you talked about that, and I stopped
mhm.
actually washing my socks after every use, and it actually it's pretty cool. They stay softer longer. I'm washing less, especially the family of four, and we all have darn toughs. I'm definitely encouraging my kids to kind of reuse the socks. Now there is some point where they get dirt gets into the shoe and they're truly dirty. Now it's time, right? But
Percent.
I give them a quick sniff. If they smell okay, they go back in the drawer.
Yeah,
So I'm not
definitely
recommending that to
100%.
everybody, but
out. Yeah. And you think about what's in a lint filter on your dryer,
yeah,
that's all microscopic little bits of material
yeah.
over time, right? And so if you can not wash them, they'll stay just fine over time. Seeing another question from Karen about, can wide open fit a regular fit as well? To
Yeah.
reemphasize what Liz was saying, I love the darn tough fit. And I now love the wide open fit. I have pretty much the average calf size, 15 and a half inches, while Liz was saying 18 and a half and plus is what we're working on for wide open. And what I really love is it'll accommodate that bigger fit. The wide open socks will accommodate a bigger fit, but they'll also stay right where I want them for me as well. And so for me, this is a great sock to wear um, around the office, around the house, or out and about. And they can stretch more, but they're going to accommodate the right, the breadth of widths. It's a sock for everybody, not just bigger sizes.
Yeah, so Owen, you must have both of these, and Liz as well. Like, what's a specific time you would choose to wear wide open on your foot? Like all throughout, like what's an airplane? What are you choosing on an airplane?
Wide open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
easy.
And why is that? Just yeah, why is that?
If my feet swell, or
Yeah,
like if I'm just gonna be sitting for a long period of time, I'm not gonna be like needing like any kind of like hardcore stuff. Like I just want to be comfortable, and
Yeah.
that's gonna do it for me. I mean, Owen.
Yeah. It's like joggers or sweatpants versus like leggings when
Bingo.
run, right?
yeah,
There's a place for both depending on what you're after. And because they're knit with that high density knitting as well as the merino wool, I can also then take them on a run. They might not be the exact fit I'm used to and pairing with my running shoes, but they will get the job done, especially compared to, cotton sock or something, right?
So Owen, I know you're going down to Big Bend National Park next week,
Yeah.
maybe even this week. What socks are you packing for your trip? Just I always
Yeah.
love to kind of get your expert. Like you have to, you must have quite a sock drawer. You can choose
when
anything.
when
What are you
I'm
bringing?
back when I'm backpacking, and this one's a shorter mileage, so I'll be packing some novelty items for sure. I typically do two for hiking and then a sleep pair, so
Yeah.
three total. And the travel pair and the sleep pair are going to be the wide open, and then I love my cushioned hike micro cruise for getting out there, especially with in that hot climate. It's we're pushing 50 degrees here today. It's going to be in the 80s down in Big Bend, and I'm not used to it yet, so need that merino wool and those light shoes.
Cool.
We had one more question from Mary in the chat about any plans to market DT towards cyclists. Owen, correct me if I'm wrong. This was before my time. Our biking line kind of got absorbed into our run line at some point, correct?
Correct. Yes. So we have our run line, our run ultralight socks. My brother calls them like ghost of a socks. Don't be scared though. But they are like the most form fitting, what Liz was talking about earlier with the run. It's like you put it on and you forget it's there, and it's great to wear with the cycling shoe. It's the same tech that our old bike socks used to be, just the durability and contouring is around like run durability, but it'll do just right for cycling as well.
So moving away from cycling branded socks, those kind of got enveloped into the running and the ultra lightweight running product.
Mhm.
Um, and I'll vouch for that. I just did a big ride this weekend. Our local pass is closed in the winter. They just cleared it, but the cars aren't allowed on it. It was a lot of people up there cycling this weekend, And I actually went with the lifestyle sock because I like that really thin feel, and that worked really well in my cycling shoes. And so that was nice as well. And I looked cool in my lifestyle. Well, okay. I thought I looked cool in my lifestyle socks. So there you go.
Socks do the same thing. They'll be nice and great. Those no cushion socks with
Yeah,
that performance fit will do everyone well.
absolutely. Owen, Liz, thank you so much for being on the call with us today. Thank you for continuing to make excellent socks. And as I've shot out, they work really, really well with GORE-TEX footwear, and really is our preferred choice for wearing with GORE-TEX footwear. Merino wool, well-knit socks, having that cushioning where you need it. It just absolutely boosts the performance, the breathability, and the comfort of the shoes. And that's what we're looking for, right? So
We'd love to hear it. Thanks, everyone.
take care. Have a great day out there in
Thank you.
Vermont, and we'll be back with y'all soon. Thank you.
Tonight. See ya.
Bye.